Hi guys, today is going to be a face of the day, get ready talking like yesterday type of video because I do enjoy making those videos. So watch me get ready and do my face. This is the face of the today. I did my hair off camera and I kind of probably should have did this curly mohawk on camera, but I do apologize ahead of time because I did not. But today's topic of discussion is verbal abuse, and I will be talking about verbal abuse, my experience or my friend's experience with this, and exactly what happened or exactly where it is because it is very recent. And while I do that and speak on that again, I'm going to do this face. So if you're interested in watching, stay tuned for the video. Bye guys. Ready with me or face of the day and talking about being a dating mom or getting back into the dating scene after a breakup and having a baby. So today's discussion is going to be a little bit more deep. I'm wearing blue, so I'm going to, I guess, title this Feeling Blue and just talking about some issues that I personally went through and an issue that I know that somebody's going through right now being in a verbally abusive relationship. She's actually married. I was not married when I was in a verbally abusive relationship and I actually got out of it. So I just wanted to recap and just kind of like share my thoughts about it and see if you guys have ever dealt with it or what did you guys do to get out. I don't know how to address someone who's married, being that I've never been married. That's kind of like crossing boundaries, or I know that some married couples don't like to hear advice from single people. But yeah, so let's just begin. Um, just like yesterday, I think I'm going to do the eyes today, and I want to do like a monochromatic blue look. I am wearing like a baby blue dress. My hair is in a mohawk. It's very messy, but this is what we're doing today. And yeah, so let's start with the face. Just try to move some of the hair out the way, and we can begin. So, just like yesterday, I'm going to use my Dior mirror because I don't want to use the computer screen as a mirror. But again, just bear with me. Again, off camera, I did my brows and I primed my lids. So, I'm just going to actually jump into things. And I think I'm going to do like a halo blue eye or something of the sort. But yeah, so I met this girl and she was already married prior to me meeting her. She's been married for 4 years and she's been with her husband, married for again and together since like high school. And she's of a different culture than I am. And I think that's where some of the issues actually um, rely on or have something to do with, different cultures bear different or subjected to different beliefs or I don't know, responses to the way people handle situations, especially in marriage. But anyways, when I met her, she was married and she was very happy. So me actually introducing myself and my situation being a mom who was single and dealing with a breakup and having to actually raise my child by myself and the home by myself, rather not like monetarily by myself, but you guys get the picture. So, we just had different backgrounds culturally, relationship-wise, views, religion, everything of that nature. So, we didn't have like a lot in common until she actually found out she was pregnant. And she did find out she was pregnant while we started working together, and I was super excited for her. And then that's when actually we became really close because she knew that I had just had a baby. My baby was 4 months when I met this girl, and now she's 10 months. So she was super excited. She confided in me a lot about babies and what she should plan for, what she should expect and things like that. But again, I'm like, our situations are totally different. You have a husband. I didn't have a husband, and then at that point I was breaking up with my child's father, so our situations was totally different. So I just talked to her about baby related things and like essentials and things like that she should look forward to or expect, and what she should buy, and just share my experience with her. And this is it right now. Let me fix this. right now I'm trying to do the halo. I actually covered my whole entire lid, but it's fine because we're gonna put the the color on top of that, and we're gonna blend some more. So do not be alarmed that this looks a little crazy right now. It's gonna come together, I promise. But again, so in that situation, she was very happy. They were, expanding their family. Again, they were in a really, really good space relationship wise. She just started this new job. She was, feeling like her life actually was coming together and made sense. So I understood where she was coming from, because when you do get pregnant, it's like everything before then didn't make sense, and then now everything makes sense, or everything has to make sense because you're doing it for your child. So I understood where she was coming from, and she was, again, talking to me a lot about the whole situation. So, unfortunately, her child did not live at one of the appointments. I think she was actually she was going into her second trimester, or just begin her second trimester, and one of the checkups, they did not find a heartbeat. So, unfortunately, the baby did not live. So, just like I actually have went through a miscarriage, so I knew what she was feeling, but not quite, because my miscarriage happened early on and hers happened a little bit later, and she's, was already attached. She's already told everybody at the job. She's already come to terms with, starting to expand her family. It was just a lot going on. So emotionally, she wasn't herself after that. She took like a month or so off of work, and then when she came back, it was more so trying to cope with everything and trying to find a way to tell everybody at the job that she's no longer pregnant, and then, just repair the pieces of her broken heart type of thing. While doing that, she's going through some marital problems, and now her husband's saying, he doesn't know that he wants kids, like, in the future. But despite the fact that she's going through this heartache, she wants kids still. Like, she's trying to go through counseling to repair from, to heal from this situation, possibly try again, or try to find closure and try it again, try again in the future, to see what the doctors have to say and what the psychiatrist has to say to help her not take this experience as an end-all experience, sort of. So that's actually what she was going through. But again, after all of this, her husband finally confesses that he doesn't want kids ever. They're younger than I am, not too young, but he's just he enjoys being a bachelor. Not a bachelor because they're married, but he just likes his life the way he is. He likes the freedom to get off and go. He doesn't know that he can actually make the time for a child. And so picking up where I left off, so he again just started a job. He was actually just graduated with his master's degree, so he's making a lot of money. He likes this freedom of being able to get up and go and travel the world and not have to deal with a child. And this is what he's telling her. So she's at a crossroad with, do I end my marriage because my husband doesn't want kids? Do I accept the fact that he doesn't want kids and stay with him, or do I leave because I know I actually want children in the future? I don't want this experience to deter me from actually trying again. So, to some that might be an easy fix, or you can find a resolution to that. But to those, especially us women who actually want children, if a guy tells you that he don't want kids, there is no reason to stay in that relationship. And that's what she was actually coming to terms with. But again, it gets deeper than that, because her religion, her family is not here. Her religion is a little bit stricter. They try to make it so that you actually listen to your husband and do what he says and stand by him, and you go with the flow, and you don't leave your marriage. Like, once you're married, that's it. So me trying to talk to her, I felt like I couldn't, because again, our situations was completely different. If I was in that situation, I would just leave, to be honest with you, because what's the point? I'm using this. But what's the point of actually staying with somebody if your life goals or your future plans do not align with that of your husband? That's just gonna cause more marital issues to me, so there's no reason to stay in. So, but again, I'm a single woman saying this. I cannot really tell this married woman what to do, this married woman of a different religion what to do, because it's not my place, you know? So, I don't know. So, she talked it out. He was not willing to really go to counseling. He's really against psychiatrists or marriage counselings and things of that nature. So he was just like, I'm gonna do whatever you want to do. I'm gonna follow your lead. But to me, that was like indirectly telling her, you do what you want to do. I'm not really gonna fight for this. And she kind of took it that way too. But again, she only has him. They've been together for a long time. She really, really loves him, and she really wants her marriage to work. She just doesn't know how to find a balance with what she wants to do and what he wants to do, and how to make it work for them. And does she stay knowing that she may not ever have a kid because he doesn't want a kid, or does she just leave because he's already told her that his mind is made up and he honestly doesn't want children? So that's where that situation was. But even despite that, after that situation, she was even more depressed, and I thought it was just because, you know, she kept having these bouts of wanting to have a kid. You know, she's around people who has kids. At our job, everybody was pregnant. I'm always talking about my child, and you know, when you have a miscarriage, you kind of question, like, what is wrong with me, and why did my baby not live? You know, what did I do wrong? You kind of put the whole blame on yourself as a woman, and that's what she was doing. So it was hard for her, and I felt for her. I felt really, really, really bad. Where is my beauty blender? I felt really, really bad for her. But you know, people heal, and people have to come to a point in their life where they figure out on their own, because even though you're giving them good advice, can't nobody change, you know, the way you're feeling, and can't nobody know how you're feeling but yourself. So I kind of try to like give her time to heal. But again, months, you know, a couple weeks later or a month later, she came back more depressed, and she was losing a lot of time at work, leaving early, and I was like, what is the matter? Like, what's going on? And there was a lot going on in her life personally. So there was a lot of other things going on in her life personally, like with her mother is sick and things of that nature. So I just thought it was just her dealing with stuff like that. So I'm always checking in on her, making sure that everything is okay, because at this point, she's really a good friend of mine, and if I can be an ear for you to talk to, I'm gonna be that, because you know, I may need that same support one day. But she finally opened up and telling me that her husband was being verbal. So she finally told me that her husband was being verbally abusive to her, and she started crying. So my immediate was like, it just has to put his hands on you, because verbal abuse actually leads to physical abuse, or it can work in conjunction. And she said no. So I believed her. I'm not going to question that. And then I just had to tell her, like, at this point, you have to walk away. You've tried it. You stuck around. You wanted your marriage to work, but you know, it's been an ongoing issue with him now. First, it's the whole baby situation, and then it's, you know, lack of support or respect for you, and then now it's verbal abuse. Like, you need to go. Like, I try to tell her, like, I was in that similar situation, which I might make a video on, and with a verbally abusive guy, and I stuck around because you get, I don't know, not that you get scared, but you get comfortable, and you honestly make excuses for that person. You make excuses for yourself to stay, and is you kind of scared to start over. So my issue was I was scared to start over in a new relationship, and I was scared to feel like a failure, especially after I had a baby. But once I had a baby and the verbal abuse did not stop, being pregnant even after having the child, I said, you know what, enough is enough. I refuse to have my child subjected to this or actually witness, you know, her mother going through this, because no child should have to actually witness their mom being physically or mentally, emotionally abused. Like, that's where I draw the line. Like, I should have been drawing the line, but I finally woke up once I got pregnant. So I was telling her, like, you know, you need to wake up now before it's too late, because again, verbal abuse can lead to physical abuse, and that's not something that you want to start happening, because you never know the outcome of that. So my question to you guys is, how do you consult your friend if you're not married? So you don't have no marital background, you don't really know what it's like to be married, and that's what a lot of marriage couples come back to single couples as. Like, you can't really speak on a relationship if you're not familiar with how a marriage relationship works. Now, to me, married or not, you should not disrespect me. I don't care if we're married or if we're in a relationship. I don't care if I had your child or I never had your child. I don't care if we grow old together or whatever the case may be. Respect is respect at the end of the day. No line should be crossed in that. You should not verbally abuse me. You should not physically touch me in a way that is abuse. Like, you know, men and women, honestly, not just men, but women too. We have sometimes we just think that because some men were raised right, they're not going to actually put their hands on you. They're not going to say nothing to you, so you kind of provoke them in a way. And then some men were not raised that way, and they don't care. So with the woman thinking, oh, he's not going to touch me because maybe his mom taught him not to touch women, some men will actually touch you, and they're stronger, so they're going to actually really hurt you. But I don't know. So what do you guys think that I should do with that situation? Again, I've already been through this, so I kind of know the backstory and, you know, how it begins, and it never ends. To me, I think once verbal abuse starts, it will never end. I don't believe that men should ever call women a bitch or speak badly about her physical appearance. So you should never body shame a woman. You should never fat shame. You should never compare her to other women. You should never talk down to her. You should only use words that are, you know, loving and respectful, especially when you're in a relationship. Like, what are you in a relationship for if you honestly feel that kind of way about the woman? Like, what kind of person are you? So I'm just hoping that she honestly wakes up and she wakes up and she, you know, gets away from that situation. Yeah, so right now I'm just hoping that she figures out how to get out of this relationship and it doesn't, you know, affect her future, because sometimes the situations do affect your future, and then you start to think that all men are the same, and, you know, the moment that a man raises his voice or do something, you're just honestly scared because you've already been through that. Yeah, so I'm hoping that it doesn't really affect her in that way, because it can do some very serious damage to a woman going through that situation. And I honestly had to talk to other people who've been in that situation. I had to talk to other men who do not think that way or would never actually treat a woman that way, just to make sure that, you know, there's some good people out there in the world. There are some good guys out there in the world that were raised properly that would never want that to actually happen to their own child. So they would never do it to somebody else's child. So, you know, you live and you learn and you grow, and it's an experience, I guess. It's not an experience that I don't think anybody should have to go through, but unfortunately this is the way the world works. You have to get through that honeymoon stage, and I tell people that all the time. Like, when you start dating somebody, trust me, do not Do not think that the honeymoon stage lasts forever. I wish that it did. Maybe some do. But some of these guys, they be playing. Yeah, so like I was saying, some guys out here will get you with that honeymoon stage, and you'll be like head over heels. You'll think that he is like super sweet, and this is how he acts all the time. And then after, you know, dating for like a couple months or whatever, you see the real person. I always tell the people that, like, do not fall totally victim to that, because these guys know how to finesse, and they can reel you in, and then they be totally assholes at the end of the day that you have to actually wait out and see, because they know what to do. They'll take you on them bomb first dates. They'll tell you everything you want to hear, and then they'll be super nice to you and your family, and then at the end of the day, like after a few months or years, you see them, that first temper tantrum or whatever, that first argument, and you're like, what the hell just happened? Who did you just transform into? Where was the guy that I actually fell in love with? And now I'm kind of questioning myself. And if you have to question to yourself, get out. Do not wait around and see if they change, because you can't change nobody that ain't willing to change, for one. But yeah, that's just my rant on that. But you have to find love for yourself first. You have to have that self-worth and self-respect first. I've been following what is his name on YouTube? He's on YouTube, but he's on Instagram too. He's the black buff guy with the books, and he has the dating games. I mean, let me try to find him. I'm gonna try to find him. But I've been actually watching a lot of his videos, and I love him, because he's like super about self-worth and self-empowerment, and he actually speaks to I swear he speaks to us women. He's like, he says everything right. So now I'm like, are you just saying that because, you know, it sounds right? Like, do you really feel like this? I don't know. I really need to go get his book, and I haven't got his book yet, but let me see if I can find him. Dang, what is his name? I want to say Derek, but I don't think it's Derek. Let me see. Yeah, it is. It's Derek Jackson. So if you don't have him on Instagram, you need to get him on Instagram, and I think he has a YouTube channel. But yes, Derek Jackson, Jackson. His videos are super bomb. I swear you'll fall in love, and he's actually like a face of a lot of the memes. Again, he's like a buff black guy. He looks good. He has a good, nice face, nice body, and then he speaks to us women. Like, that's like a total package. But yes, follow him, because he helped me through a lot of hard times. His videos are just so like, they speak to us women, I promise you. And he just says all the right things, and he knows how these guys are. I don't know if he was one of those guys or his friends are those guys, but he just knows exactly what we deal with. And then he's like, you know, sis, you don't have to deal with that. There's these guys, you should never do this. And he responds to a lot of comments, and he gets a lot of DMs with questions from women or men, and he answers them, and he answers all his questions. So I do appreciate him. I appreciate any guy that you know, they don't try to look good, you know, cool for other guys. They don't be out here trying to just get brownie points or whatever. They honestly really feel like there's good women and good men left in this world, and you have to just pick and choose your battles, and you don't settle for less. Sis, don't settle for less. Like, I'm never gonna settle for less ever again. But this mohawk is killing me today. We're just gonna deal with it. But let me just put these, I'm gonna put these on, and then I'll be right back, and I'll finish up the look and finish up this topic. So off camera, I actually put my lashes on, and I put my lipstick on, and the lipstick is actually one of my old lipsticks. It's the Lorac lipstick and Secret Agent, and it's probably not going to focus, but yeah, Secret Agent, and it's honestly like a taupey brown color. It's kind of showing up darker on camera, but it's not that dark. And I'm thinking about throwing up a gloss, because I'm always doing a matte lip, and I kind of want to do a gloss. But yes, the eye came out perfect. You can't really tell on camera. It's not a true halo, because I actually blended all the blue out because I didn't have my crease brush. Again, these are 614 lashes by whatever that brand was called from yesterday. And again, my hair's in a mohawk. But yeah, my hair is in a mohawk. It's really, really messy. I like to pull like a lot of hair out, and then I like to pull these sides out just to make it even more messy. And then the front kind of does its own thing, and then when the wind hits it, it's always everywhere, so it really doesn't matter. But yeah, the soft pose look came out cute, and the eyes came out cute. I only put like this what is this called, the Cover FX liquid drops. So I have to go ahead and put something over that. I was just waiting for them to dry and get tacky before I put something over that. But a lot, like lately, I haven't really been doing overly highlighted looks. I've been liking the matte look. But anyways, yeah, so this was not really, this is the face of the day. It's feeling blue. I hope you like my discussion about verbal abuse. It's nothing to play with. So if you are going through verbal or physical abuse, please reach out to, there's a lot of agencies that help with women who are going through domestic violence. There's a lot of agencies, I think, for men out there. There's a lot of support system. Do not hesitate to speak on your truths and what's going on, because there's so many people that's going through that as well. And again, you do not want to wait until it's deadly or fatal or whatever the case may be, because unfortunately a lot of things can happen and a lot of things transpire. Too many women and too many men have been victims of domestic abuse and violence. So yes, and look out for Zarek Jackson. Again, look at his page on YouTube and his Instagram page. He's very, very positive. He actually gives hope to a lot of black men out there, especially those that have you know, a lot of black men have bad names to them or associated with them, and there's so many good guys despite race, color, whatever ethnicity. But yes, let me know what you think I should actually do with my friend, and how would you handle your friend who's come from a different cultural background and different relationship status, married and you're not married. Do you honestly talk to somebody who's married and you're not married? Because do you think they listen? I don't think a lot of married couples listen, or married people listen to single people, because they just honestly feel a little bit different in regards to it. They just, I don't know, I don't think that they feel, you know, superior to you, but I think that they don't feel like they can relate at all, or you can relate, because you're not in that situation. You didn't take those vows, and you don't know about married couples. But again, I do know, because I'm around a lot of married couples. I just haven't gotten married myself as of yet. So again, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what the next video should be. Thank you again for watching Beauty and Rarity here with Sade. I hope this was interesting for you, and see you in my next video. Bye.